So is this right here a case of somebody being, I don't know, racist, or is this right here a misunderstanding, or is it just good old fashioned store protocol? Let's go ahead and get into the whole Bed Bath and Beyond incident.
Bed, Bath, and Beyond accused of being racist because they called the police on customers who were simply shopping. Here's a video.
So, apparently someone called us. They thought maybe we were shoplifting or something.
Okay.
Do you know who placed that call?
I do not.
Okay, it was a store.
So guys, I decided to throw one more video up on Saturday. Now this right here is an incident that kind of went viral this past weekend. It was sent all over Twitter. So a gay couple went inside Bed Bath and Beyond, and according to them, they were let's just say somebody called and said that these people were trying to steal, trying to shoplift, even though we can't see what's in the shopping cart or in the shopping buggy, which, by the way, it's not in the video, but don't worry, we'll be exploring that in this video, because I'm not sitting here saying that it's a race grift or not a race grift. What I'm here to say is I think we might want to let a few more things come out before we make an actual decision. Now, guys, I want you to stick around for the full video, because I'm going to want to get you guys' opinion a little bit more than what I can see, because I'm mostly operating off of my own knowledge from working in the retail industry itself, working for Best Buy, Walmart, Dunham's, basically any type of sales job I've pretty much already done, except for selling homes. Also, something else too, given the MO of the people that are talking about this, it would not surprise me if like a week or so later, this story did not get brought back up, and we come to find out that it was the exact opposite of what you were shown in this TikTok.
Maybe we were shoplifting or something.
Okay.
Do you know who placed that call?
I do not.
Okay, it was a store.
Yes.
So do you know it was? I mean, it would have been one of your employees.
What would you like me? What do you need help with?
I would like to understand why they were called. Right, that's very simple. Why were the police called with the 3 black people thinking that we were shoplifting? I paid $600 for my thing, so obviously I didn't shoplift. I want to understand why you thought it was shoplifting. You didn't place the call, but one of your employees did. I'd like to know why.
Okay. All right. I mean,
I think that's standard, right? I'm not being hostile or anything. Because he asked the woman, did we
whatever. I
pay?
don't care. I mean, if there's the big purchase items, that type of thing, there's usually a question. We just want to make sure.
Okay, usually a question, I can understand that, but police being called, I can understand that. Right, that's usually a question, so maybe the store will ask a question, or maybe you all follow me, maybe you follow me around. Sure,
Rachel,
but
can you come to the front?
But that's not what happened. The police were called with potential shoplifters, which means that
we call the
someone.
police all the time. They have our backs.
Okay, well that's fine, but you didn't call the police because we did shoplift. You called the police because you thought we were shoplifting. I spent $600. I paid my money. I didn't shoplift.
Did anybody
You
say
called
anything?
them.
Did anything say? Did anybody say
Yeah, the
anything?
officer asked her, "Did we pay?"
Okay.
So someone did say something. I did
do.
pay.
When there's big
But what
baskets,
happens is
we do ask.
you called the police while we were still on this side of the store. We were here for over an hour. So you called the police when we first really got in here.
Okay, time out. I
No, we're
understand.
not gonna time out.
She's coming up. I hear what you're
Okay,
saying.
sure. Come on.
They want to know why the police were called, and they want to talk to the person who did it, and they want to know why they were basically is what you're.
Yeah, while we were profiled, exactly.
Oh, I have a call.
You called?
It's my right.
It's your right to do what? Oh yeah, you hear right. So your right to do what?
It's my right to call.
Because you thought the 3 black people were shoplifting. Why?
They didn't say that.
You called the police. You said we have a potential shoplifter. So you did say that.
No, I'm recording because you lost your mind.
Are you with these guys? Or?
No, she's not with us, but she can stay. I mean, I just want to know. So, sir, to making sure I'm not hostile, I'm not being violent. I just want to know why the store called the police because they thought we were shoplifting. We just purchased a new home, right? We came in because you all are closing. It's a closing sale. I didn't realize there was like a maximum number of items you could buy, right? So we were not shoplifting, but the police were called because you thought we were.
Actually, it was a cell phone video, my bad. Before we get to what this really and truly could be, I want to go ahead and say this right now. As I mentioned earlier, I've worked a lot of retail. And let me go ahead and give you guys just a quick personal story. As most of you guys know, I'm kind of working on this office here. The other side of the place looks a lot worse. I went and bought a gaming computer obviously for video essays and stuff, because we plan on going into doing more video essays and things like that. And of course, expanding this entire network as a whole. Okay. The thing is this right here, the box, of course, you're not just going to pick it up and walk outside the store with it, okay? You've got a computer, keyboard, everything that's in there, the whole kit and caboodle. You're obviously not going to get up and walk out with it, okay? So be put inside of a shopping cart. Well, a lot of retail stores will not allow you to do that. So what they'll do is they'll go grab it from the back or grab it from the top, and they'll put it beside the cash register until you're actually ready to purchase it. And then, of course, they typically tend to walk it out, or you can walk it out with if you can actually carry it. In my case, I got a bad right foot, and I had more stuff to buy, so they obviously carried it out and put it in my truck for me. The thing is this right here. This situation, and you're going to hear me say this over and over again, could have been fixed with good old-fashioned customer service. And what I mean by that is simply walk up to these guys and just simply ask them, hey, sir, is there anything I can help you out with? Oh, do you want me to grab this right here for you? Hey, how are you doing? You probably get an idea. Now, me personally, I don't think these two guys were trying to shoplift. I'm going to go ahead and say that right now. I don't think that's the case, especially given the Twitter photo. They look to me like they're pretty well off. I think it was Greg Foreman did a video on this, and he actually went deeper into their social media and found out that they were UNC graduates. And like I said, I'm not passing judgment on them or anything, and I'm not saying that they're right or wrong in this case. I'm saying I think a few more facts need to come out before we actually make a judgment. And don't worry, we'll get to Rashard Ritchie here in a second. The thing is this right here. We've recently experienced a lot of events like, say, for example, the New York City bike carrying incident where we were all led to believe that this woman was just taking the bike and being a Karen, and then we find out what the hell was really going on was that she was actually a lot more in the right. More and more facts got exposed, and then you saw Tizzy ENT and then the boy's sister come out and basically completely expose the situation much, much further, exposing themselves in the process and possibly even incriminating the boys in the incident. And they continue to double down on it, and of course that situation, of course, is looking more and more and more like a win for Sarah Jean Comrie. So this situation right here could be a situation where, quite frankly, Bed Bath & Beyond itself is actually in the right. But then again, though, we're not entirely sure. It could have been an employee that was trying to be a jerk before the store closes, or it could have been somebody in the store who just, quite frankly, was suspicious of the fact that there was big-ticket items in there. But then again, though, based upon how these two look, I don't think that these people were there to shoplift, okay? So I just want to go ahead and get that out of the way now. But still, though, the grift, the race grift that is already starting, especially on TYT, that quite frankly needs to be responded to. But before we respond to that right there, let's go through all the possibilities of what this work could be. So somebody calls the cops. Somebody calls management, whatever, says, look, these people here look kind of suspicious. I'm pretty sure you guys call. And don't worry, we'll watch it again. They look a little bit suspicious, whatever. It's probably the thinking of some customers in there. Obviously, somebody's being a bit of a jerk, but there's a reason why it is. And let me go ahead and tell you really quick about working retail. When you work retail, especially if you're just a lowly employee, just trying to get some product off the shelf, stocker, whatever, just doing good old-fashioned customer service, you're probably going to run into customers from time to time, and you're probably going to ask them what they're up to, which, by the way, I think would probably have quelled a lot of this, just good old-fashioned customer service. Like I said, I'm not saying these people were trying to steal anything, okay? I'm not saying that at all, because clearly, judging based by the Twitter profile, the Twitter photo that you saw, obviously this was not the case. They were obviously looking to buy this product. However, good customer service would have more than likely prevented anything. Say if an employee had walked over, hey, sir, how are you doing? Is there anything I can help you with? Is there anything you need? Most people typically tend to respond pretty good. Now, occasionally, when you work retail, you will find somebody who is, in fact, going to be a jerk to you. But still, at the same time, this right here may have been one of those cases where two guys walk in, couple, whatever. They walk in, they grab a few items, put them inside of a shopping cart, walk around the store. Nothing happens, but of course, because they're more bigger ticket items, yeah, somebody may be a little bit suspicious. However, this happens to people that are not of color. This happens to Hispanics, Asians, white people all the time. I know this, and I know this is completely anecdotal. Like I said, you guys can say whatever you guys want to in the comment section. It's fine with me. I have said before on multiple occasions that oftentimes there is a lot more to the store than you think. In this case here, with it being much, much more bigger ticket items, it is possible, especially seeing how it's a bed, bath store, towels, furniture, things that would go inside your bedroom, bathroom, all that type of stuff. That's the reason why it's called Bed Bath & Beyond. It's possible that somebody may have gotten suspicious. Could have been an employee that made an actual phone call too, but still though, the employee probably should have actually went up there and actually asked them. Like I said, just good old-fashioned customer service would have cleared this entire thing up. The manager, to tell you the truth, if you pay very, very close attention, and don't worry, you'll see it again when I show you the second video, or let's just say the edited version, of course, that came from TYT that Rashard Ritchie was deciding to react to. Yeah, you actually see that the manager, the girl, she's kind of baffled. Now, granted, she does say, the cops, they got our back. That's really nothing, because some stores have got the police on speed dial, because, quite frankly, some places nowadays, especially in bigger cities, find a way to get robbed. I don't know if you guys have noticed it or not, but Walgreens, of all places, is putting just about everything that you would have on the shelf inside of one of those plastic packages that you have to open with that little bar thing. I used to deal with this when I was at Best Buy. I can't actually remember the name of it, but the thing is this right here. Some products, external hard drives, cost a lot of money. Hell, when I worked at that particular store, Beats headphones, which at the time were $400 a pop, they had to be spire tacked. Also, to go on top of that, computers are put up very, very high in the store or sometimes locked away. Now, granted, I don't know how Bed Bath & Beyond does things, but there is a legitimate concern, especially when you go to a grocery store and you see that the very, very hard plastic is being put around wash pods. You got the Tide Pods or the, my personal favorite ones are the Arm & Hammer ones. They're always on sale. They always do my clothes very, very well. They typically have 3 different types of detergent in it. But they are now inside these cases because people, quite frankly, especially store owners, are in fact a little bit wary of the possibility of people coming in and stealing. The idea behind that is that they don't have the tool to actually open it up, so therefore they can't break it open, so it makes it like stealing it. And it's also easier to see if somebody tries it because you can't really conceal something like that on the way out the door. But another great example of this would be like the other day when I bought my gaming computer, for example. It's a pretty big piece of equipment. Obviously, they're not going to let me walk around with it. I wouldn't have walked around with it anyways, but if they gave me a shopping cart, I still wouldn't be able to walk around with it. It needs to be by the customer service desk, so that way you can't walk up the store. On the surface, this right here looks a lot more like poor customer service than anything else. But then again, at the same time, let me say this, and this right here is not a defense of Bed Bath & Beyond, so please don't get the wrong idea here. The place is closing. I just told you guys earlier that it looks like Overstock is about to purchase this place. It's possible employees don't care. It's also possible that employees really just want to get through the day, and maybe somebody in the store, maybe not an employee, maybe a customer was just trying to be a jerk. So maybe somebody was being like that. Then again, at the same time, maybe somebody was not being like that. We really truly don't know. That's why I kind of want you guys' interpretation on this one. However, when you get into the weeds and the next thing you know, you have a guy like Rashard Ritchie basically come out and react to it and respond to it, you automatically think to yourself, okay, here comes another grift. I'm going to go ahead and play this entire full segment for you guys, and then we're going to kind of refute these points because some of these points, quite frankly, are just completely nonsensical in an issue that, quite frankly, could have been resolved rather easily if management had just simply asked some questions, which they probably did afterwards. But we'll talk more about it on the other side.
Okay, well, that's fine, but you didn't call the police because we did shoplift. You called the police because you thought we shoplifted. I spent $600. I paid my money. I didn't shoplift.
Did anybody say anything? Did anything say?
Yeah, the officer asked her, did we pay? Okay. So someone did say something. I did pay.
When there's big
but what happens is you called the police while we were still on this side of the store. We were here for over an hour. So you called police when we first really got in here.
Okay, time out.
No, we're not going to time out.
Coming up, I hear what you're saying.
Sure, come on.
They want to know why the police were called, and they want to talk to the person who did it, and they want to know why they would basically what you're...
Yeah, while we were profiled, exactly.
Oh, I have a call.
You called?
It's my right.
It's your right to do what? Oh, yeah, you hear right. So your right to do what?
It's my right to call.
Because you thought the 3 black people were shoplifting. Why?
They didn't say that.
You called the police. You said we have a potential shoplifter. So you did say that.
No, I'm reporting because you lost your mind.
Are you with these guys? Or?
No, she's not with us, but she can stay.
I have more video, and what you hear in the background are other customers being made aware of what's happening. So they start recording as well. Now, there are 3 quotes that I want you to remember. 1, big purchase items, there's usually a question, one worker says. Another comment, we call the police all the time, they have our back. 3rd comment, it's my right to call the police. Continue.
I just want to know, so sir, to make sure I'm not hostile, I'm not being violent, I just want to know why the store called the police because they thought we were shoplifting. We just purchased a new home, right? We came in because you all are closing, it's a closing sale. I didn't realize there was like a maximum number of items you could buy, right? So we were not shoplifting, but the police were called because we thought we were. Because they have...
We're not going to be able to resolve this. I don't know what you want us to say. But I don't care if the white, black, or green. If somebody's walking around with big, high-ticket items,
there's a lot of people walking around with high-ticket items. I mean, Dysons. So we're defining high-ticket items.
That's why they walked it up to the counter so that.
So what? Here's another thing, sir. Just so we can have the record straight. The high-ticket items, most people think I had in my bucket was the vacuum that y'all took from me and put behind the counter.
Oh, I know.
So the high-ticket items, called the police because The high ticket items are in our budget.
They got a problem keeping up with the corporate office.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
We're not getting anywhere, so if you got a complaint, file the complaint with their corporate office, okay?
Well,
Because we're done here. Our involvement is done.
well, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. Well, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm asking you is, when you all came out and they said we had 3% of shoplifters, they describe us at all? They just like, they let you know who we were?
Two black males.
Two black males.
Yes.
Okay. And so y'all didn't come find us. Y'all just stayed here until we came out, right?
The main thing was nothing was concealed, so that's why
Right.
we just stood by the door and we let it go. And
Right.
I even mentioned that they could be paying for this.
Right.
So that's why we didn't
Okay.
approach or we didn't come up to you.
Okay.
The irony of this. Let me first say to the individual who documented this, thank you. We need more like it. Also, to the officer said, listen, the reason we did not even approach you is because there was nothing concealed. And we even told the store, they're probably just buying things. Wow. The police are saying to loss prevention, this is a little too racist for us to deal
As I
with.
said before, I'm not saying that the people who called the cops or whatever are not racist. I'm not saying that at all. However, at the same time, though, I do think that there's a complete total lack of understanding when it comes to this case here. This is one of those cases where I said before that customer service could have fixed this entire thing. Sir, what can I help you out with? Is there anything you need? Oh, can I help you out with that there? Something like that there. If a person's, if they say no thanks, I'm good, that's typically nothing. But of course, if somebody gets really, really defensive or hostile or acts really squirrely, which it doesn't seem to me like this couple, this group here, these two guys were about to do. The cop being there at the very end, them saying the cops have always got our back. That right there sounds to me like, because I mean, I've worked a lot of retail, and some stores, the police officers really and truly are like right there nearby. That right there is probably what it could have been, especially depending on what store or what location is. How many times has it been hit? Maybe this particular Bed Bath & Beyond has been stolen from before. So obviously there's going to be protocols in place. The cops are going to be a little bit faster when it comes to like getting them over there, possibly even on speed dial. There may even be a red button back there for somebody to press to notify the police, so that way they can send an officer over there to find out what's going on. Also, something else too, I'm pretty sure that the clerks would know that it would be very hard for somebody, especially given the fact that we can't see the actual products themselves. I mean, for all we know, it's an entire bedpost or maybe it's an entire bed frame. We don't really and truly know. Then again, it could be some universal remotes or something. We really and truly don't know, because therefore we cannot see the product. So therefore we really and truly don't know what the hell is going on in this case. So I think we need to let a little bit more evidence come out before we completely and totally scream racism. But here's the last point that I want to make on this matter right quick, okay? Rashard Ritchie, when he was sitting there and he was talking about, what was it? We need more videos out there like this. You got to ask yourself a question. How much of a slippery slope are our cell phones? The reason why I'm asking this question is because I remember when I was in the law enforcement academy, and back in 2014 and 2015. One of the main complaints that police officers, and by the way, I'm not against cell phones. I'm just saying sometimes social media, posting to social media, but then again, at the same time, if you remember the whole New York bike carrying incident where it come to find out that these cell phones actually got that girl off and it's about to get that girl potentially paid. And of course, all the leftists that came out and absolutely completely stepped on their own narrative and actually exposed themselves further. Cell phones can obviously be a good thing, but obviously at the same time, cell phones can also make work a little bit difficult. As far as posting these videos out there, I was a little bit murky with the slippery slope, but now looking at it, I'm maybe a little bit more in favor of this, so that way we can kind of expose how bad these narratives are. Now, it's very, very possible that it may have been a real true case where somebody in the store said, you know what, man, we got two black guys over there. Go ahead and call in here. Oh, they got these. I know they can't pay for these items here. But if you look at how these guys are dressed in that Twitter photo, it seems to me like maybe they could, in fact, actually be purchasing this. Like I said, it could be somebody being a jerk, or it could be good old-fashioned standard protocol. Maybe Bed Bath & Beyond has got something in place that says, hey, look, you know, if you see something suspicious, call the front, we'll call the cops, this, that, and the other, and we'll see what the hell's going on. Maybe that's the way it is. I never worked for Bed Bath & Beyond. I have worked for other retail stores, but it could be a case like this right here. But also one more thing, too. I'm really going to laugh if this right here turns out to be a failed race grift, basically meaning that this entire thing was designed to gin up some form of hysteria on a certain topic. And then come to find out it's nothing more than a great big giant nothing burger. As I've said before, we can't really see what's in the shopping cart. We're not seeing it at all. So we kind of can't come together on a reasonable conclusion of what this is. Even though I already know some people are going to come in the comment section and scream racism on this right here. At the same time, like I said, we're not getting enough facts. We're, for the most part, reacting to a TikTok video here. And apparently it was a video that kind of went viral this week, this past week. I just now got to it. After looking at it and thinking about it, I'm kind of like, you know what? You may want to let a few more facts come out before you actually decide to pass judgment on this. And once again, though, it could be a situation where we're coming back a week from now and we're saying, yeah, this right was actually another one of those race grifts from TYT's Rashad, what's his name? Rashad Ritchie, whatever the hell that guy's name is. It looks like a freaking bat with a jacket-looking mustache in this. Guys, John Claymore, if you guys like this content, please hit the like button, subscribe. If you feel I've earned your subscription, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications bell, and I'll see you guys later.